If you've ever struggled with protecting your dog's paws in the summer heat, you are in the right place, because in today's video, I'm going to talk about exactly that. I'm going to give you some valuable tips to make sure that your dog stays safe and comfortable all summer long. And stay tuned until the end, where I will give you 3 common mistakes to avoid to ensure you have a positively awesome summer with your pup. Here we go. Hi there, I'm Kate, the founder of the Barkery, a dog bakery based out of Lugano, Switzerland, and I've dedicated myself to helping dog owners like you overcome the challenges to a dog's health and well-being. And I'm really excited today to help you understand how you can best protect your dog's paws during the summer heat. Let's get right into it. Okay, so my first tip is to make sure that you keep your dog's paws as cool and comfortable as possible. It may seem obvious, but you really want to avoid taking walks or taking your dog outside during the hottest part of the day. Try to reschedule your dog walk times during periods, for example, in the morning, in the evening, when things have cooled down. You really want to make sure, if you're going to be walking on cement, that first you put your hand down flat on the cement. If it's hot for your hand, it's going to be too hot for your dog's paws. So really start strategizing from now of ways that you can take your dog for a walk that are maybe a little bit faster to get to the grassy areas. If you need to take your dog for frequent walks during the day, really scout out those areas of shade, understand what time the shade starts, and really do your homework to make sure that the walks that you take are as comfortable as possible for your dog. Another important tip I'd like to share with you is to make sure that you keep those paw pads hydrated and moisturized. They need a little extra TLC during the summer month, and so I've created an all-natural paw butter that is the perfect solution. This paw butter is full of nourishing ingredients like coconut oil, shea butter, olive oil, and I even have added some doTERRA essential oils of frankincense and Roman chamomile. The frankincense helps to heal and repair damaged skin, while the Roman chamomile is just soothing and comforting. When your dog's paws are feeling a little bit sore, it's really going to make a difference. It just takes a little massage on those paw pads, and your dog will really thank you for it. Okay, so that brings us to tip number 3. And again, this might seem like an obvious thing, but it's really critical to create a routine for proper nail care and grooming for your dog's paws. So we need, every time that you take your dog out for a walk, you're going to want to take just a couple of seconds and inspect all of their paws. Make sure that they haven't cut themselves on anything out during the walk, that there are no blisters forming, and that they don't have any foreign objects stuck between their toes. That could even be ticks. So you really want to take a quick look. It doesn't take but a minute. Get your dog used to it, and you will be helping to prevent more complicated problems like inflammation, infection down the line. And you really want to make sure that their nails are properly trimmed. I would really recommend that you leave this to a professional dog groomer, as they know the proper length and the proper method to get your dog's nails clipped. It's a really important part of the whole process, and like I said, prevention is always the way to avoid much more serious problems. Okay, so tip number 4. Get yourself some dog booties. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes there aren't shady places. Sometimes the walk can't be moved to another time. If your dog needs to go out, your dog needs to go out. And if you don't have shady areas all the time, if you don't have grassy areas around where you live, it's really important to invest in some dog booties. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them at your local pet supply shop. They are an integral part of dog care in the summer months, and they will ensure that your dog is A, getting the amount of exercise that they need, and B, enjoying their walk and not going to be suffering the entire time. So dog booties are absolutely going to save the summer. Okay, so my last tip is regarding paw relief. On those exceptionally hot days, even if you're walking in the shade, even if you're walking on the grass, it can still leave your dog's paws sensitive and sore. So I would recommend also investing in cooling mats, which are really going to help your dog. Laying there with their paws on a cool mat is going to give them that little bit of relief that is probably going to make a huge difference. Another thing that you might want to try is to give your dog a little foot soak. If you can't get them to sit still in a shallow pool with cool water, I know when I had Bucky, that was just not going to happen. So what I would do is grab 4 washcloths, put them in some cold water, get them nice and cool, and I would wrap them around her paws. It only would last for about 30 seconds before she'd go bonkers, but it did help to calm the inflammation and get her paws nice and cool. And while it lasted very little, she always seemed really happy afterwards. Okay, so now let's move on to 3 common mistakes that you can avoid to ensure a positively paw-some summer with your dog. Look, the first thing that you really want to make sure that you're doing is not neglecting paw care. Like I emphasized before, there's just a couple of seconds every time you take your dog for a walk are really going to make the difference, because once they start getting fissures and abrasions and cracks and blisters, life becomes really complicated. So really make sure to not neglect nail care and paw care. You also want to really pay careful attention to the ingredients in your dog's hygiene products. Any creams or lotions or salves that you are using on your dog's paws, really understand exactly what's in those what is in those products, because your paws are an area that your dog is probably going to be licking quite often. They tend to not like anything sticky or lotions or anything like that. That's why my Paw Butter is made with 100% natural ingredients that your dog can lick. It will pose no harm to them at all. So just really ensure that the ingredients in those dog products are okay to be licked. You also want to make sure that there are no harsh chemicals, because as we know in our skincare, a lot of face creams, for example, have a high percentage of alcohol. Well, you're kind of you're canceling out the benefit of the hydrating effects with the high alcohol content. So just be really mindful of the ingredients that are in your dog products and make sure that you're avoiding harsh chemicals as much as possible. And finally, it's really important to be a really in-tune dog mom. When you take your dog for a walk, pay close attention to their excitement level. Make sure to check and make sure that they're not limping ever so slightly. Check to see how fast they're walking, what their behavior is, what behavior changes they're having, because that is going to tell you so much information about how they're feeling, what's going on. Okay, so now it's your turn to implement these tips and tricks that I've just told you about, and to be aware of those common mistakes that are very easy to make. Don't forget to check out the Paw Butter on my website for the Barkery, www.thebarkery.ch, for the Paw Butter and other products that are going to keep your pup happy and healthy. So, thank you so much for watching this video on how to protect your dog's paws during the hot summer month. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be able to be always in the know for all of my future positively paw-some dog advice. Thank you so much, and until next time, ciao. Have a great one. Bye.